for today. You know, the 2014 National Conference, designed to search for equity and justice in economic independence, social cohesion, national integration, and political stability, has come and gone, but its relevance has refused to go away. Elder statesman, Ijaw leader, and politician, Chief Edwin Clark, has written to President Bola Tinubu demanding the implementation of the 2014 conference report. He wants the president to immediately restructure the polity. If the nation must remain one, how do we reconcile the position of the Niger Delta chieftain with the submission of commentators who contend that our problem is not constitutional, but attitudinal, Yusuf?
In fact, the best way to frame the Nigerian, conundrum, because when you look at Nigeria, it's like a conundrum. Everything, just from A to check Nigeria. And just to correct you, Edwin Clark is no longer a politician. But
but he's talking politics.
No, that's not politics. That's development.
Oh, come on.
No. If you have become an elder statesman, you are no longer a politician. You see, what I'm trying to point out in what...
But you can weigh in.
If President Tinubu...
You can lend the weight of your experience.
Hello. If President Tinubu leaves office, either after 8 years or whatever, and he doesn't restructure Nigeria, I would believe all his time in power is a complete waste. But because it will be a good opportunity that we may not be able to get again for a very long time. Having one of those who have risked everything for Nigeria.
But he cannot single-handedly do it.
Just wait.
Okay.
So one of those who risked everything, protesting, agitating, doing everything, to have democracy, to have rule of law, to have this, to have that. Actually, he's a smart politician. National anthem was changed without any uproar. We can do it. Do you think Nigerians are happy with this system? What we have now? No, who is happy? The Yoruba people? The Northerners? The Igbos? Nobody is happy with Nigeria.
The Niger Delta?
No. In fact, the Niger Delta feels cheated every day, feels that Nigeria is raping them. You get what I'm saying? See, look, one of the biggest, problems of Nigeria, what he talked about wealth creation, it's not just in factories and, resource generation, how we get it. This is not the way we started. And we witnessed the highest level of development, pure development, when there was equity in Nigeria. Nigeria is no longer having equity. When there was justice, what we have now is a skewed federalism.
Okay.
When you go to 1963 Constitution, you will see it. What you have in your region belongs to you. You give certain percentage, which was 50%. You take 50% and donate 50% to the federal government.
Yeah.
That 50% will be shared all over. You will also benefit from it. You get what I'm saying? So now, not that you will come to my backyard, destroy my land, destroy my home, destroy my farm, destroy my ecosystem, everything. Now give me pittance out of it. Please, with this system we're having, you go and read the 2014 Confab very well. One of the biggest recommendations was resource control. They said states should control resources they have.
Generated by...
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is to say, referring us to 1963. Not just that, devolution of power.
Yeah, okay.
That is, go back to true federalism.
Yusuf,
what we're having now is not federalism.
All right, Yusuf, I hear you. Wale, I know Yusuf has managed to remember that we have had 10 national conferences.
Yeah.
And with 10 national conferences reports.
Yeah.
So where are they? And don't you think the statement I made earlier on, commentators have said our problem is no more constitutional as it is, more of attitude. Our attitude needs be restructured?
Well, I think we've been having constitutional conferences in the Clifford Constitution of 1922. And I think under the British we had about 4 constitutions. The Tutun Constitution, Macpherson Constitution, Richardson Constitution.
Yeah.
It was the 1946 Richardson Constitution that gave us a federal system of government. And I think they came to Nigeria in 1865. For more than 60 years, I think the British had the opportunity to study our society very, very well. And in 1959, before they were leaving, they set up the Henry Wilkins Commission, which went round. That was the only thing similar to a people's constitution.
Minority rights.
Went round all over the country. And when they were leaving, they said, look, let us have 3 regions with a high level of autonomy. State police, even the embassies, foreign relations. The Western Region at that time had a Western House in London, and we had control over a lot of things.
Let me paint this picture. I'm sure Adekunle remembers this. In those far-off years, if, what do you call them now, tax people chased you from Igbobi area, the moment you got to Fadei and crossed over, they stopped chasing you. Because you were in the federal territory.
So you see, when you are talking about industrial estates in Apapa, the GRE in Keja,
why is the place referred to as boundary? That was the boundary between
Western
federal and
Federal Capital
Territory.
Yes, it was moved to Abuja. You get what I'm saying? That was the boundary
between Western Region and
federal.
Yes.
Federal territory.
So you see, we've had a better time based on our the understanding of those who ruled this country for about 60 years. When they were leaving, they said regions.
Now, so the national conferences of the open era should address that country.
You see,
we can go back to
the conference we had in 2005 under the one we had under Abacha. Everything was tailored towards self-secession. 1995, self-secession. Then the one we had in 2005, it was also about, though it was, they gave
it wasn't self-secession.
No, it was a facade of, they want to, national political reform and all that. But then they smuggled in the agenda of third term. Now, and if you remember, that conference had 393 delegates.
Okay.
The one of Jonathan had 492 delegates.
492.
Obasanjo spent 932 million naira. Then in the case of Jonathan, I think 7 billion naira. What has happened at the end of the day? Nothing. So the fact of the matter is that, look at South Africa in 1994 when they were doing their own constitution. They received 1 million memoranda from all over, from labor, from students, and do you know what happened in South Africa? They interpreted that constitution to 11 local languages. So that every language in South Africa, anywhere you can read and understand what they are talking about, that constitution. We've never had a people's constitution in this country. That is the truth of the matter. So the person talking about that we should implement 2014, yes, it's right, but I don't think it's everything there that we can implement. I think there are some good...
The report is 810 pages.
10,325 pages. And they had 600 resolutions, that were made. There are some good ones, like restructuring. They even recommended scrapping of local government. They recommended devolution of power. They recommended creation of 18 states, which I don't agree with them. So
fiscal federalism.
Yeah, fiscal federalism.
Then devolution of power.
Yeah, devolution. So the fact of the matter is that there are areas that I think this current regime should extract and work with the National Assembly so that we can implement those aspects. And I believe it's going to resolve a lot of contradictions. The fact of the matter is that Nigeria is still looking for a nation state. We are yet to have a national, an agreement on national values or national ethos. There is no unity in terms of ethnic diversity and all that. And if we don't do this, we will not be able to resolve the problem of terrorism, the problem of IPOP, OPC, OLM, and all that. Unless we sit down on the round table and discuss, it might be too late for us. So I buy
and minority
issue, minority rights.
Yeah.
People producing oil, and then you take the whole thing to, from them. They queue up, somebody will collect a license, come to your backyard and take over your oil. And if you go to these communities, they have been destroyed almost almost irredeemably. Look at pollution. Look at the impact on bees.
When I hear
environmental devastation.
Hold on.
So for how long?
When I hear that gold is being, mined illegally in Zamfara.
Yeah, Elisha, Oshun, So why should that happen?
And we're talking. Ondo State has the second largest bitumen in the whole world.
In the whole world.
But we can't take advantage.
We can't, So we can't continue to run a garrison state. It will not work. We are, of different ethnic background. We are of different culture. We must identify those differences. You cannot unite us by decree. We must recognize those differences and realize that.
Or by fiat.
Or by fiat. It's not going to work. Look at Europe. They have fought several wars. Second World War, Third World War. Look at how many nations that have emerged in the past half a century in Europe. And, we need to learn. You can't just by fiat say, look, Nigeria is not negotiable. Or even though that constitution is not our own constitution. We did not sit down to agree on the constitution that say we, the people of Nigeria. We never sat down to agree on this constitution. So it is time for us to sit down. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. That look, we need to want to negotiate ourselves and determine the terms and conditions under which we want to live in this country for prosperity and liberty of our people.
Adekunle Yusuf, time is tight. Can you bury this in 60 seconds?
Well, this is another good opportunity for Nigeria to get it right. What we have now, we will only complain and complain and complain and complain, and everybody no one will be happy. The problems of Nigeria are not from God. God has done it the very best for us. It's not from the devil, as our religious people we want us to believe. They are man-made problems, and we are eminently competent and qualified to resolve the problems. If we do, for example, state police, fiscal, federalism, all those things, if you solve the problems today, we can face up with America, UK, the places where our people run to. In 20 years, Nigeria will be a wonder to the whole world.
We'll stop playing catch-up.
Then we also need to restructure ourselves. The way Nigerians behave, whether as followers and leaders, we don't seem to love our country.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Gentlemen, we must go. But not before thanking Adekunle Yusuf for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I cherish your intervention.
Thank you.
Adewale Adeoye.
Thank you.
They say being a gentleman is good until it becomes difficult. Yeah. But you've been gentle throughout, so we thank you very kindly. Yeah. All right then, 2014 National Conference Report. There's this saying, there's quite nothing like an old idea whose time has come. We're done, we must go. And so that's all on the show. If you missed any part of it, not to worry. A repeat broadcast is built for 11 tonight. And then on Sunday, we expect our man BKO Jide to have been back between 1:30 and 3:30. Watch out for that. Journalist Hangout is also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am your good citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.